Hi, hello, and welcome back to another very exciting episode of the Nincompoops podcast. I'm your host, Paul, along with my usual co-host, Dean and Jim. How you doing today, boys?
Hi, everyone. It's Jim.
It's me, that dude.
How,
Um,
how are you guys doing?
doing good, man. Everything's going. You know, it's still kind of warm outside, so it's draining me every day anyway. But I think that's all right.
It is pretty warm. The weather is it's starting to ramp up. We've been pretty lucky the past couple weeks. I'm thinking it doesn't feel like summer. I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of falling into that trap of right wing trap. That climate change thing? Maybe it is a hoax. Maybe it is a joke.
You
Nope.
fool.
It's maybe it is all fake. Cause I don't know. In our area, it's been pretty cool relatively. Now it's starting to warm up. Now I'm I'll take it back. I'll take it back. But I don't get to complain that much because my house has AC, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah. In other news, this is our 50th episode.
Oh
Um,
shit!
yeah. So we've done this for 50 episodes now, and this is quite a milestone. And I think I know I don't like to start with a topic, but I think we should talk about that since 50 is a pretty big milestone. I feel. It's
Yeah,
basically indicative
you
of
should
you.
have told me beforehand. I would have added that to the intro. I just go with that old boring hello everyone, it's me Paul and my friends. How are you doing today?
But
You
yeah,
could
this
have
is
told me.
episode
You
50.
could have told me.
We've been
I
doing this
did.
for over a year now. So
I must have been taking a piss.
yeah, I mean, I guess it's not a year exactly. I mean, of doing it because it's not 52 weeks, but we started this in July of last year, so we've been doing this for quite a while, and
Oh shit!
yeah,
Oh shit!
we've come quite a long ways. A lot of things have changed from the beginning. For example, every week it's just the three of us. There used to be double this amount for all you newer viewers who may be watching now.
God.
Just
Um,
have more.
yeah, but even so, we made it this far, and the amount of episodes we have left are definitely limited because you're going off to the military sometime. I don't
Yeah.
know exactly when, but it is.
Very likely January. Very likely the beginning of January, like January
Yeah,
2nd, I
so
think.
we don't have that many episodes left to do,
Mhm.
but we did keep this going for a while.
You know what, low key, it is kind of fun. It is just the three of us. It makes things very more tight knit. And to be fair, I think we were the three that were the most into the idea of having a podcast. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Like when I pictured it, I always pictured the three of us to be like the core, and then whoever else wanted to do it would be in it.
Mm-hmm.
I never expected this to be like literally everyone in the friend group goes on every episode all the time because that's not realistic with
Nah, nah.
schedule lineups and motivations all that because everyone has different levels of like, okay, I'm gonna put in this minimum of 1 hour every week into doing this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And low key, it is kind of the same thing. I've noticed the same thing happen with other podcasts that I listen to as well. Usually, it starts off with if they have a lot of people in the show, then it usually starts off with a lot of people. But then
Mhm.
slowly over time, it trickles down to a few core members to maybe three or four, five if they're lucky. But it's usually three or four, unless it's one of those podcasts that only start off with we only have two people and that's it. It was my favorite podcast, Cox and Crindor. Shout out to that. Has been listening to that for at least 8 years now. So still amazing and entertaining show, and I'll still enjoy it from now into the future.
Yeah, I think one of the things I noticed that became more and more apparent the less people we had on on each episode is
Mhm.
that it is harder to get a word in the more people there are because it's obvious to anyone who's still watching or has been watching us for a while that me and you are like the most dominant conversationalists on the show, but
That is true.
but even then, like whenever someone else is talking and I want to say something, it's a lot harder to cut in when there's other people, you know, thinking about cutting in, but they're not sure when to cut in as well. So we're all like, in a way, we're all like kind of competing to get our word out.
This This is your time.
certain
This is
things.
your time, Dean. He's calling you out. He's calling you
Yeah.
out, Dean. Jump in.
But with 3 people, it's definitely a lot easier to do that because like it's easier to cut into a conversation between 2 people than it is to try to get a word in with 6 people trying to talk at the same time, which is what we started with.
I learned that the hard way while I was in Florida, not too long ago.
Yeah.
But when I reverted back to my introverted self,
Big oof.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. I think we definitely come a long way too. I remember my first the intro I gave on the very first episode. I listened to that and then I was cringing super hard because it was like I didn't know what I was doing. Like at that point, I was already listening to podcasts, so I didn't have an idea how to do one. But like putting into practice is a thing of its own, and
Different.
I wasn't very good at that at the beginning, but I think I got a lot better at that now. And I think it's
You
got
stumble a lot more than you think you would. Like in your head, you're thinking like, "Oh, all right, I have a general idea of what I want to say," but then once you're actually starting it, you're like, "Oh, well, hold, let me get my thoughts together. I thought I had it, but give me a second." Like you have like
Yeah.
your first opening statement, and once that's passed, you're like, "Oh shit."
What?
yeah. And I don't know how it is for you guys, but I think after doing this for so long, I think my general conversation skills got a lot better too. Like I can have a conversation for much longer with people than I could before. Whereas before, I had a tougher time, I guess. But yeah, it's definitely helped me out on that front quite a bit.
I'd like to say the same, but again, probably in some aspects. But again, when the road, when the metal hit the road, what the fuck's that phrase? When the rubber hits the road, when I was in Florida, I was like, nope, that didn't help me none. It didn't help me none.
Yeah, I don't think I've thought about like how the podcast affected my conversation skills. I'm just here, listen some stories, or news, something.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have.
Oh,
with this.
well,
Yeah.
maybe it's just me because I talk a lot, but this has happened with me and other friends too,
Yes.
where I was able to talk a lot more than I could before, and yeah, I mean that's just how it is with me. And another thing about the podcast is that I learned that when it comes to just like talking, like it took us a really long time to just like get to a point where we can just start with talking about whatever.
Started without like a topic or anything.
Yeah,
we just,
yeah,
like,
'cause
bounce off each other a little bit more.
Yeah, because in the beginning we would always introduce like, oh, this is what we're going to talk about for this episode, and then we would talk about that. Before, I think at first we were more rigid as like we stuck on the topic more, but then over time we got more and more loose from the original
We
topic.
branched
and
out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got to a point where we would introduce a topic and then talk about it for like 10 minutes before we stopped mentioning it at all, and just like went to something else, and after that we just didn't start with the topic at all. And
I remember constantly complaining and worrying about like, yo, there's like dead silence for like a good 5 seconds. We need to, guys, we need to fill something up. Guys, start talking, please. And I just like, so anyways, and I just put like a bunch of ums in there, just like fill up the silence, just to make some noise. Just
a part
to
of
make sure,
that
like,
was-
we're not dead, I swear.
a part of that is because I'm like, for me, it's just like, okay, I'll see if someone else wants to say something, and I think maybe either everyone else has that thought, or they don't, or they just don't want to talk. So it comes on for like a good 10 seconds before like something else comes up.
Yeah, like 5 seconds go by, I start sweating. I start like sweating a little bit. I'm like, oh no, please, no, not like this.
Yeah.
It just bothered me so much.
But yeah, we definitely got better. Like I always pictured us to do how we do it now, where we just like talk about whatever without like having a preset topic.
That's what I wanted
And-
originally. Yeah.
But yeah, obviously we learned that it didn't work out at the beginning, and so we needed to be more structured. And some people liked it more structured at the beginning, who probably don't watch this anymore. 'Cause-
That is true. Yes.
yeah, and some people probably like the way we bullshit from topic to topic more too. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just feel like it's more organic when you're just having a conversation without any set topic, because that's not how it works like out in real life when you're hanging out with your friends and family. You just talk about whatever. You don't like come to a hangout like, okay boys, we're going to be talking about The Scarlet Letter. All right, go out. It's not like a reading club or anything like that. We just
Yeah.
like that's not how real life works.
Let's talk about sex toys. All right, everyone, come get prepared for that topic. Okay.
I mean, we could do that. We are hanging out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
Just like
true.
we just talk about like, all right, boys. Topic today: sex toys.
Yeah. And also, if you guys haven't started that drinking game yet, every time we mention sex or not safe for work stuff, you guys have to take a shot. If you guys want to do that challenge, because it's gonna happen every episode, basically. But yeah, definitely got better at that too. And another aspect I didn't really think about as much in the beginning is that in a way, we are documenting our time in COVID, basically, right? Because before
Kinda, yeah.
we don't usually take pictures of everything we're doing, with the exception of like, oh, this is a cool place I won't go to very often, so I might as well take pictures of the food or scenery or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
That's
Japan
that's
being
practically
the
my Instagram.
prominent example.
Mhm.
But with this, we're just talking about things that happen, and I think the cool thing is that, when we all go our separate ways at some point in life, which it could be years from now or tomorrow, who knows?
Damn, tomorrow? Damn.
Yeah, tomorrow's the last day we'll ever see each other.
Fuck, bro. That's why we're doing the hangout tomorrow.
That's the last one.
I'm
Yes.
sad.
I'm
I'm sad.
Yeah.
Dean,
But,
is that why you're moving? No, dude, don't do that. Don't do this to
but-
me, man. Don't do this to me, Dean.
but the cool thing is that we one day we'll be out of our way. Dean
Yeah,
will be
Dad.
a history professor at a local college.
He'll be
You
a
will
history
be
professor. He'll also like own like a sex club out on the side as well.
Yeah, you'll be a pilot in the Marine Corps. I'll be living
Yeah.
in a cardboard box near Main Street. We'll just be like, you know what? I want to see what 25-year-old me is like, and we'll just come back here and remember those things. We'll cringe at some things, I'm sure. Like maybe
Oh, absolutely.
even in our more recent episodes, we'll probably cringe at some things. And some things we'll be like, we'll be like, oh shit, I remember when it was like this or whatever. Whatever it may be. It'll be kind of cool to go back to it one day.
remember.
Yeah, my biggest. Oh, go ahead, Dean. You're about to say.
Remember the times where COVID was a thing? Pepper Ridge Farm remembers.
Yeah, that's wild. We might have like the podcast might begin and end within the COVID era. That's wild, huh?
Yeah.
That is true. I mean, yeah, specifically it would be like ourselves documenting what's happening in COVID, but I think it's more accurate to say we're just documenting ourselves in this point in time within our lives because it's going to happen regardless. But like every episode, we're not obviously talking about COVID. Maybe it's like a good like 10 episodes we're talking about COVID, but not all of it.
I don't want to talk about COVID all the time because like it does get repetitive. That's like the only reason,
Yes,
really.
yes, everyone
But-
hates it. No one
But
likes to talk
it
about
does come
but
up often, only because like it's literally like the most pressing issue of our lives right now. Like,
currently in this
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
yeah, like so far, maybe someday the oceans will flood and kill everybody, but up until that point, like this is the biggest event so far, I would say, for people like us. But
Yeah,
but
indeed.
overall, the documenting thing I think is really cool. And maybe years later we can check out this stuff. Check out like the episodes we find the most interesting. Cringe at the times we bring up sex stuff or politics or.
But my biggest worry is that if and when I ever decide to run for office in the future for whatever position, my enemies or my opponent, I'm not my enemies, my opponents are gonna be like looking through like, hey, this asshole did a podcast back in his mid-20s. Let's look and find some like incriminating evidence. Like, oh shit, he's into this sexual stuff. All right, write it down, boys.
They look at episodes too. Fetishes like, oh, we got some dirt.
Yes, exactly. That's my worry. That's my worry. It's gonna be on the internet forever.
Jeddah says this is slightly off topic. When was the last time Jeffrey was on the podcast? How is he? The last time he was on was when we were doing the RTC episode together with you.
Yes.
That was the last time he was on. After that, he hasn't shown interest in coming back. I don't think I just think he just doesn't want to do it anymore, and that's fine because like this
we all have those
podcasting.
days, I reckon.
Yeah.
Podcasting is just not for everybody. It's like maintaining a strict schedule too of doing this, because like we do this once a week, barring some like breaks or whatever, or something comes up, and some people just can't commit to that. And it's unfortunate. I do wish he would come back, but if he doesn't want to join, then he doesn't want to join, right? So
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I have those days too, like especially on Wednesdays whenever we do the podcast. I'm like, fuck, today's Wednesday. All right, time to hype myself up a little bit. Like, all right, trying to do that intro. Like, hey, welcome everybody, welcome to the podcast. Where in actuality, I'm like, hey guys, welcome to the podcast. There's another episode with me and all the boys. And how you doing? No, I have to like hype myself up a little bit, and then once I get like into the mood, once I start like moving, I'm like, all right, it's starting to get a little bit better. But then there's days where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this. I just want to take a nap. I'm so tired, bro. So it applies to like every aspect in life for everyone at some point,
Yeah.
and podcasts included.
yeah.
Mhm.
But I'm still grateful we have this. Like I'm happy we did this because I didn't know how long we would last. Honestly, at the beginning, I figured we were gonna stop after like 10 episodes or something because I was like, everyone's just gonna be like, I'm lazy. Let's just not do it anymore. It's
This
too
is
much
kind of
work,
cringe.
too much commitment. We suck at it anyway, But we
Yeah.
kept going anyway, and I'm proud of us for even though it's only the three of us now. For like, I think the 3-man episodes are probably most episodes now, or more than any other type of episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Kenny. I think next to the three of us is three of us plus Kenny. I think it's probably the next one.
The Kenny fans, remember them?
Yeah, I think they haven't. I think they already left the city. They're like, okay, change is never coming. Like activism is doing nothing.
The dark money's not getting through,
Yeah,
or the dark money's too strong. We can't get our candidate in.
yeah, basically. Like they wanted to make a democracy, but
Not. We
it
live in
was-
America. Fuck democracy.
Yeah.
Hell that.
We just had too much media attention. By media, we mean ourselves. So we are the media, and we are the officials. We are everything.
Judge, jury, and executioner.
But yeah, Kenny. I think the only reason why he's not here is just because he works at his new job where he works 4 days a week, and I think it just happens that most weeks he starts on Wednesday. So he's working right about. I think he works like at 6 our time, so we start 30 minutes after he starts work as well. So there's just never overlap between him and the podcast.
Yeah, definitely. He joins when he can, but that's not often.
Yeah, and I think I don't think it's gonna happen anymore. Like him joining, unless he gets a Wednesday off or we move it to whenever he's free. But like we've been on we have this on Wednesday so hard in our heads that we're like, okay, like it's just a schedule. We it's easier for us to fill it in to our schedule if it's on the same day every week.
Yeah, indeed.
I think. But yeah, as for Ron, I think he's in the least amount of episodes. I think.
Absolutely.
Or is he close with Jeffrey? I actually don't know. Like at this point, because he did jump in late to a lot of episodes, so I don't know.
I think Jeffrey still has a lot. Has
A
Over
lot?
Ron?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
We'd have to go back and like legit count the
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
See who's there.
It might just be recency that's fucking up, making me unsure.
Your recency bias.
Yeah, because he's been on it more recently than Jeffrey has. So
That is true.
maybe I just think he's been on about as much as Jeff, but
And heck, who knows? He might even like jump on today. Who knows? It just like, randomly happens.
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, ever since he moved down to SoCal, he hasn't been on, and I didn't. It didn't seem like he was too interested to committing to it in the first place. Because I remember a lot of times he would just like forget that we have it on Wednesday.
I mean, he dipped after like episode 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
And no, I think it was
Yeah.
like 4. I think he was committed for 4 weeks, and after that it was like, oh, I'm going to oh shit, do we have a podcast today? Oh, I'm going to the gym or something. That was usually the reason. And then he moved to SoCal. And then we saw him on less often after that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I've finally went back to the gym for the first time in over a year yesterday, and my body is sore. I was complaining to these guys right before we started the podcast. My body does not miss this. I was like, fuck. It kind of hard. Like it's like my upper body, just because I was working on like chest yesterday mostly, and my pull-ups. But yeah, I don't miss this. I don't. My body's sore. I don't remember. I don't. It's not fun. It's not fun going to the gym. Yesterday I came out like I feel good. Today I'm like I'm an old man. I don't want to do this no more. I want my money back. Who pays to get? Who
Are you
pays
gonna
to be
pay
in
for it
pain?
monthly?
I am going to be doing it monthly, just for the simple fact, like I'll probably just be here for like 4 months before I eventually leave. So
That's true.
yeah, it's not too bad. Like it's like around like $30 a month. So I'm like, all right, that's like 120 buckos right there. Then I'll be going for who knows? Who knows? Maybe that the full 10 weeks. Maybe like I'm gone for like a day. I'm like, hey guys, I'm back. Military ain't for me.
You never know.
You never know. Yep.
Shit. When I got there, I was like the first week of processing. I was just like, yeah, this is it.
I already want out.
Yeah, I was
Are you
like,
Are you planning to go back to the gym, Dean? Because I know you're moving soon, and you're moving away from like a lot of gym
yeah,
areas.
that's a thing. I'm probably not going back, just because, like, my days are counted here,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm at right now.
You have like until end of September, right? Basically,
Yeah,
to be
but-
around this area.
But I'm dipping earlier than
Yeah.
Indeed.
my
Indeed.
family.
So you can't even pay. You can't even like pay for what just 1 month, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. So because Paul messaged me yesterday. He was like, "Yeah, come back to the gym." And I was like debating.
Yes.
I was debating on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, probably not, because I'm gonna be far away.
Mm-hmm. Dean? Did you tell him when you'll be moving?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, I know Dean's move date.
Yeah, I got
Yes.
fucked up.
Yep. It's very soon. So
Yeah,
definitely.
I still don't know when that exactly is. I just remember you telling me you're moving like a few weeks before like end of September, but I just don't know when.
Yeah, so the plan now is me first, then Sunday, then SZA and my mom would be the last one to move out here.
Mhm.
I think
Isn't
that'll be,
sorry to interrupt. Isn't it a commute for her or actually, when you go back to school in the fall, is it on campus again? Because I think
some of them are on campus, but right now I'm like choosing online.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I haven't chosen my last 2 classes yet. But yeah,
how much time do you have? Because you only have like what, a month and a half left.
yeah.
Yeah, aren't they already filled? Like, isn't it kind of rough to pick classes right now? Because
Funny enough, they're not.
really, because I imagine like with how college is, like if you don't get your classes on the first day you're available to get it, like they're gone. Like
Well, they're kind of like the last 2 history classes. That's the last 2 classes that I need to pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's like the boring ones too, where probably nobody's gonna choose it because it's still open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I, can see
I mean,
that, yeah.
I imagine there's not a lot of history professors, history majors anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because history is
Yeah.
kind of a niche major for people,
It
really.
is very, very niche.
Like all the social science majors are in psychology, or I think the other one's sociology. I think those 2 are probably the bigger ones. But history, like not a lot of people are into that, so
Yeah.
they don't get as many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, I have a bed over there and sheets.
Oh, you already have all that.
Already? It's
Yeah.
already.
Nice.
And,
Okay.
And my desk. I think I fucked up on the desk.
Mm.
I think I ordered. I went cheap on the desk because I was like, oh shit, like I'm running out of money. And then I was just like, all right, I'll pick this desk. So yeah.
Yeah. Are you planning to move in the morning or
Probably nighttime.
nighttime?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I could probably like join you after I drop off gym.
Yeah.
From what? Oh,
Yep.
this is on a weekend, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's on the weekend.
Yep.
Oh, okay,
Yep. It's on a
gotcha.
Saturday. If I remember correctly, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, maybe. I'm probably thinking of Sunday now.
That's fine. Absolutely fine.
That's a lot of driving for you, man. I'm sorry.
You know what? I've actually been driving quite a bit this entire week already. So it's like me driving down to like the MEPS area for my PFT on Saturday.
Oh,
I remember when you asked me like about my score on that, when you asked like, are they going to give you like your most recent score or your highest score? I said like they're probably going to give me my highest score just cuz. Funnily enough, met with my captain on Monday, signed out the contract, did the whole swearing and oath thingy and all that fun stuff. And he said like for my PFT scores, like look, I saw the staff sergeant kind of pestering you, giving a hard time. I just gave you a 20 because I counted you in your previous PFT. So like you have like the your 20-minute run time and your 20 pull up. So like you get the best of both. I'm like, awesome, thanks, sir. So I got like a 274. So my score went up by like 10 points. So I'm like, hell yeah, hell yeah. But
Nice.
so you're sworn in, huh?
yeah, I'm sworn in. I'm government property now.
Can't believe this man put the chains on himself, bro.
I know.
Funny enough, my government property lease is over this month.
Nice.
I'm a free
Nice.
man.
He's a free man, and I'm putting the chains on myself. It's a cycle. It's a vicious cycle. In a nutshell. You remember those videos?
It's funny that you guys are the same age too, and but one's like done, and another one's starting.
Yeah.
That is very
Yeah.
true, but I think officers tend to be a little bit older, just because.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Requirements
but-
involved.
I mean, you're taking the path that most people from RTC didn't take, because most people who enlisted or who joined the military enlisted, and I can't think of like I can only think of one person other than you in my 4 years of RTC plus like people that my friends who are younger and older than me know, everybody like in that circle,
Yeah.
only 2 people I know are going down the officer route.
Mm.
Everyone else went down the enlisted route when they joined the military.
Because I just remember, like, one of our seniors, he said, like, I heard a story. I haven't seen it personally, but I heard a story while he was, like, in class one day while we were in high school. It's like, college, school, fuck that shit. I'm going to military. I don't need to study anymore. So everyone's like, fuck school. I'm out.
I feel like that was everybody.
That was my attitude. Like the military seemed really appealing, so I was like, I don't know if I can do more school, man. I've been here for so long. I kind of just want to be done and just make money. And then
Absolutely.
as I got older, I learned that the money is not very much, and also it's the military itself isn't exactly a very good experience to work for. So I was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
And I hopped ship really quickly after that.
Yeah, my only issue is that ever since I graduated from high school, I became far more left. So now I'm like, back when I'm like, military, absolutely. Now I'm like, today, even though I just sworn in like on Monday, I was like, huh. It's a little catch-22 here, huh? This is kind of a little immoral. But what the fuck do I do? So I don't know what gonna happen for me in the future in my military career, how long that's gonna last, or if I'm gonna enjoy it as much as I think I will, even if I do become a pilot, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big oofs.
I mean,
Indeed.
you can't speculate something that you just don't know about. You need to go through it first and see how you feel about it later.
Yeah, and it's going back to the whole like, the podcast and me potentially going to political office and all that is like, all right.
Yeah, you can see the documents of how you were at the beginning of the podcast. You're like, yeah, I'm still trying to still trying to work my way towards like beginning to try out to see if I can do it or not.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, I'm like, I didn't even like start the process. I didn't even talk to the OSO yet. Now I'm like, all right, January looks like the ship date. But no, I'm talking about just like political office, like people, the American people sure like their veterans. So I guess like that's my justification. In that, yeah, they do. So even like on the left to like some extent, as long as you're like pretty anti-war, they're like, I could respect it. I could respect the vet, So it's a weird thing. So I was like, that's my justification, just because like they had more like to my resume, I suppose. whenever I decide to go for office. But who knows?
I'd rather have someone who's anti-war in there than someone who's like, yeah, kill all the brown people. You know, like.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, like usually, like the route seems to be like, you're prior military and you're going to political office. You're a Republican, and they usually tend to go Republican. You don't hear too many.
There's a decent amount of lefty vets, you know.
Lefty vets, definitely, but they don't. You don't really see them running for office, though.
I don't know. I mean, maybe we just don't know. We don't know enough about candidates to know that for sure.
Maybe I like
in the mainstream discussion. Probably, yeah, it's probably that people will just assume like you're like super patriotic, super pro America. You know, if you're a vet.
Yeah, that's usually what I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
It is.
Another thing is that I graduated during the era of the podcast, so that's another thing I can document.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Dean went from a computer science major to not a computer science major. Yeah.
Indeed.
Big changes, man.
Big changes.
It's like we're making big changes to the podcast, okay? So
this is like a little time capsule for us. At least for the and that like major things happened in this year. Or even like, last year too, obviously, because 2020. Fuck that year. I still want a refund on that.
Still fuck this year too. I'm not a fan of this one either.
It is going surprisingly fast, at least for me it is. It like this year, like I remember thinking like, man, I can't wait for 2021. Fuck 2020. I want to get my 2021 can't come fast enough. And now 2021 came, and now it's already like August.
Yep.
Now we're going like 2022. All right, that's second time's a charm. Hopefully.
Yeah,
that's the plan.
Fast.
But this year sucked too. Like it's just 2020 part 2 minus that people are vaccinated now, so it's more free, I guess. In our area, at the very
say
least.
2021 is marginally better than 2020.
This year's been going by pretty fast. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna happen like throughout our lives so quickly, where we're just like we're like chilling on the sofa watching some TV or watching a movie or something. We blink and then
outside the pool.
And then it's like 20 years later or some shit. Like, huh? How'd this happen?
It just happened.
We're gonna go through that metamorphosis where, as you get older, time seems to move a lot faster compared to when you're younger, and before we know it, we're gonna be like in our 60s. We're like, what the fuck? And we'll truly be the boomers at that point.
Yeah, hopefully they have augmentation by then. Cybernetic augmentation.
Hell yeah. Every time I look at like something like Deus Ex Machina or any other like futuristic sci-fi shows, I'm like, cybernetics, that's the way to go. I want my robot arm. I want my dick piston.
Piston dick.
Piston dick. May that episode forever rest in peace. That was the catalyst for the show, and it was very lackluster, to say.
Yeah, it's only appropriate that we mentioned piston dick right now because it was what started the idea of doing this in the first place.
Yeah.
So if for those who are listening, which compared to what the beginning is far less people, but for those of you who are still listening, you just be grateful that piston dick started all this.
Who knows? Maybe if we like saved piston dick for later on when we actually got better at doing speaking and doing podcasts, maybe it would have done better. Maybe it would have gotten more views. Maybe got like 1 or 2 more views than the previous video.
I mean, it's just kind of how it is, right? But it's not like we're like a big podcast or anything. So
absolutely
I expected a viewer decline because at the beginning, I remember we were pulling like 60, 70 views.
I don't even know if that was like right at the start too. I'm pretty sure
it was over time. It was over time. At the beginning, within like the first few days, we pulled in quite a bit of views. But now it's just like we're lucky we get 10, and I'm sure like a lot of those are just bots. So
bots, oof! Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. No, bots.
I'm just assuming. Okay,
it could just be in your area.
It could just be people click on it and they don't listen too much of it, so it doesn't count. So
yeah,
I mean
that's true.
Regardless, I never expected for like us to have like a consistent like 30 viewer thing going on. Like I expected people to leave because a lot of people that were watching at the beginning, they were like people who were that knew us in high school or something. They just saw his post on Instagram, like, oh, I haven't spoken to this person in a while. Let's see how they're doing. And then over time, they don't care because they're like, I'm not close to this person. They're not that interesting, or they're not good enough at this, or like, or they're like, oh, who's this?
We're learning.
Or they're like, oh fuck, I don't like this Jim guy. He talks a little too much. Let Kenny speak, man. You know, like a whole bunch of
fans.
Yeah, the Kenny fans. A whole bunch of reasons that's why a lot of people don't watch. And if you guys are still here listening, just let us know. That'd be a nice like affirmation that we still have some people listening.
We appreciate you. We love you.
Yeah, we appreciate you. All right, Jedediah.
I'm gonna be the tough parent. I don't.
Jedediah, thank you, man, for joining us live too. Because we like having Twitch chat, even if it's just you there. Like we like getting like feedback while we're talking. That's always cool. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, definitely. The podcast definitely became a little bit more political than I thought it would be, and I think that's kind of our fault, Jim, in that regard.
I mean, to be fair, I don't know about you, but I consume a lot of it. So like
I do as well. That's why I regurgitate a lot of stuff that I view and see what I watch. So naturally, I'm going to be like talking about that kind of stuff. Like, let's say, for example, if we're watching like a different show or a lot of movies that's not political, I'd probably be talking about that. But I tend to watch a lot of political stuff, so that's what I put back out into the world.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure even Jorm, who's a political science major, is like, okay, bro, guys, enough about the politics. I don't care, okay? You guys are too radical. Like, no one cares about your opinions, okay? No one cares about politics this much, you know? But
it's an asshole. Everyone has one.
Yeah, like no one wants your opinion. No one asks for it. And Jedi says facts. Oh,
facts. Shut up, you.
Yeah, shut up.
This politics stuff. Get out of here. This is Nincompoops. Where's my brain? Where's my brain rot?
Ooh, damn, bro. Is that a challenge? Joram, he's just said you have brain rot, bro. What you gonna do about it? Shit, what? You might have to defend yourself by a battle of words.
That's not at all what I just said. You're
I think
misunderstanding.
I think he's issuing a debate challenge to you, Joram. Damn, bro.
That's not what's happening. No, I didn't say that.
I don't know. That's what I heard. Dean, did you hear that? Did you hear like a challenge to Joram?
Yeah,
like, I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, just talked about like, hey, maybe we should lay off on the politics, and now we're like,
hey, Joram, did he want to debate you? Like that's what you heard too, right? I'm just
No, I don't. No debate, bros. No.
But in all seriousness, Joram, thanks for listening, and also thanks for being our. I think you're like our most frequent guest too, by quite a bit.
Absolutely.
I think Helen was in the lead for that for a while before she stopped joining. I think
my man is in here. I'm out.
Lol, no, please. But no, in all seriousness, thanks for coming on the show to talk. If you ever want to listen to your episodes when you get older or something, that'd be a thing for you too. And if you ever just want to join the call, because it's just the three of us, and we could, it's always nice to talk to you because we don't talk to you often, or we don't talk to other people than just the three of us often. That it'd be nice to talk to you. Like, it doesn't have to be about politics. We could just talk about how much of a cuck Paul is. Like we just talk about that. All right. We can talk about how Paul's a radical commie or some shit. Okay.
Not yet. Maybe one day. I'm not that like doomer yet. I'm not doomer enough to be a commie yet. Just a socialist. That's it.
I am. Land, bread, and peace.
Land, bread, and peace. I am curious though about how much our voices, if they do change, will change in the future. If YouTube is still a thing and our videos are still here, we can like listen.
I'm sure YouTube's still gonna be a thing, and they have such a dominant share of like the video uploading market. Like there's no competitor, right? Because
that is true. But when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, of like even like the internet itself, it's still technically relatively new, even though it's like been 20 years. YouTube about like 10 to 15.
I don't know, man. I just feel like if there is gonna be a competitor, they'll either fail or YouTube will buy it, because that's what Facebook's done. Because Facebook bought Instagram, they bought WhatsApp, I'm sure they bought a whole bunch of other things I just did not hear about, because they.
Not even then. How relevant is Facebook aside from the whole political thing?
I mean, they're not big amongst us, but amongst old people, it's pretty dominant. And also, they have a share in like a whole bunch of shit, dude. Like
Yeah, old people.
like
bro.
Instagram.
People, though.
Young people use Instagram, and that's owned by Facebook as well. Like Snapchat, remember that? No one uses Snapchat anymore. Minus like people who are like still there for messaging, I guess.
I
Like,
used it
people
for
use
the first time in a long time yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
about to say Paul used it yesterday.
everyone's
Yeah.
everyone's on Instagram stories now. So Facebook just got rid of its competitor for that, which Snapchat was leading in at the beginning, but Facebook came in like, oh shit, we do this too, and they won. Like like I don't know. I think Facebook, even though you don't use like Facebook itself very much, and I don't use Facebook itself, I think they're for the foreseeable future because they just have so much money and so much control over the market. I think they
Yeah.
are gonna hold that for a very long time until like we break them up or some shit. That's the only way we can see it. Like,
Probably. We'll have to see though. We'll have to see if whatever happens to it happens. It's like a long-term thing.
yeah, and YouTube. I just imagine it's the same thing. It's gonna happen with YouTube. Because YouTube is owned by Google, and Google is owned by Alphabet, and Alphabet just has so much fucking money under it too.
Well, I'm like talking about like whenever we're like in our 50s or 60s, whenever we decide to look back on our episodes, like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
think you think it would still be like YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff will still be like still relevant then, or
I think so. Yeah.
still even like
Even
40 to 50 years in the future?
we're in late stage capitalism, man. Like it's good. Unless we move beyond that, then that's just what's gonna happen.
But yeah, I would be really curious to hear how our voices change if they do change. Like, I think my biggest thing right now is that even though I've gotten used to the sound of my voice, I've definitely, ever since Florida, definitely became more subconscious about how I speak and the sounds that come out of my whenever I speak, what sounds I make, like, you know, the little lisp going on or the empty air, as Jeffrey mentioned while we were hanging out the other day, or just like the wet sounds, just like extra spit. So I've just been trying to like change the way I speak a little bit. Maybe speak more towards the front of my mouth. I don't know. This may be just pseudoscience. It's not changing anything, and it's just like a placebo in my head. Like, oh, maybe it's changing something. But yeah, it's all that.
I mean,
It's
this is gonna be a lot harder to pull off, but I do hope that in the future, that whenever we all have the chance, we should do like a kind of like a reunion episode every now and then, just catch up on the podcast or something. I think that'd be kind of cool.
When we're old and haven't done it in like months or years.
Yeah, maybe we'll lose connection to each other, but I'm hoping that we do at least one every now and then. I think that'll be kind of cool. More, document that as well, and see see what changes that there are. Like maybe in the future you come back, you have like a southern accent because you spend too much time in Kentucky or some shit, and then you come back and
I don't.
what
I
up,
don't-
y'all? It's
Man,
your boy Paul here, and today we're gonna talk about lassos. All right, Dean.
Lassos. The fuck?
When's
I
the
don't
last
care
time
about
you
rope.
used a lasso, Dean? Like
Right?
The only time I would care about lassos and rope is in the bedroom.
you don't know that. 30 years from now, when you're in 50s, you might care about lassos. You don't fucking know that.
I'm becoming more southern. Dare I say, maybe more conservative? Who knows?
Yeah.
We see you in person, you wear a cowboy hat. We're like, oh god, Paul, that's cringe, bro. Like, come
I
on.
have them boots. I go to
Yeah.
church every Sunday. I'm like, I'm always trying to commune with the Lord.
Yeah.
I mean-
you never know.
I mean, we'll know. We'll find out. Like, I think I wonder if my voice would get deeper or higher pitch over time because I spoke to my friend that I've spoken to since high school,
Yeah.
and he said my voice got deeper, and I was like, damn.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't notice myself because I don't pay attention to that because I talk and I hear myself all the time. So
I haven't noticed either, but then again, we see each other on a regular basis, so
Yeah,
seeing
yeah.
Speak is just like
it's like when you see your your younger sibling get tall and taller over time, but you don't see them like literally like grow as they you see them
Mhm.
every day, so you don't see that growth as much
yeah.
until you notice like one time you're like, oh shit, wait a minute, they're at my shoulder now, or in Dean's case, they're all taller than me now. Like you don't see it until you just notice that one day.
The image is way different in my head than it was, or than what it is in reality. Pretty much.
And that's everybody, because I
Yeah.
think the science is like, your voice when you hear it, it's like bouncing off your your bones or some shit. So when it goes to your head or whatever, or your ears or whatever, it sounds different. But then like everyone else,
It sounds like deeper. I think from
yeah.
what I in your own
Well,
head,
in
it
my
sounds
voice,
deeper. Than,
with me, the voice I hear is not as deep as my actual voice. My actual voice is deeper
really,
than yeah,
really,
yeah.
the voice inside of my head is definitely deeper than the voice in reality that other people hear, which makes me kind of sad because I really like the sound of the voice inside of my head. It sounds amazing. It sounds so fucking sexy. But then I hear myself speak in real life, like, ew, what is that?
Yeah, that's what when I do impressions of people, I can never get the exact voice down because I'm only doing it based off the voice that I hear. So
Yeah.
like when I impersonate you, like it doesn't sound exactly like you because I don't know what my actual voice sounds like to like, get close to what you sound like. So I can only get like the tone down or like the inflections down and all
The
that stuff.
inflections, yeah. My
Yeah.
habits and all that, yeah. I
Yeah.
got you. I got you.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe over time I'll come even deeper, and then I'll sound like this, and then this is what you guys hear whenever you guys talk to me. You know, just very deep, and maybe
Yo, you wanna go deeper, you get whatever Vin Diesel or Jeff Bezos is on and just goes like, oh guys, to like, yo, I'm Sylvester Stallone.
I'm
How you doing?
Hey guys, I'm Jim, and I'm here to introduce you to the next episode of the Nincompoops podcast, 30 years edition. This is a 30-year anniversary when we first started.
Yeah, it's a little bit deeper.
Well, that's because I know how to make it deeper. That's why. Like when I just did there, I used my diaphragm, which I taught you kind of last week.
Yeah, you did. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to like do it right now, but it's kind of hard to do while sitting. I think for some reason, or maybe I'm just like, nope, I'm just sore. No,
What helps me is that I try to visualize it, so I put my hand on my chest, and I picture like my diaphragm going up to there, but not past that. So when I do that, it sounds like it's a lot more deeper than it normally is.
Yeah, no,
And then
no,
yeah,
it's
this
kinda
is how
sore
you
right
can
now.
do it. Your chest is sore. Okay, well, that doesn't help. But you can also do it high pitch. You can do it the other way around too, but the high pitch thing doesn't sound as useful, I guess. You know, because like
No,
you walk up to a girl, you're trying to sound cool. You don't go like, "Hey guys, my name is Paul, and I'm here to ask you out." You know, like it's more.
No, you sound like a fucking douche YouTuber. You don't sound like a girl at all.
No, that's you. That's you, like trying to sound more higher pitched.
That's definitely not a higher pitch. That's just more like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my Twitch channel, and let me like try to sell you something and all that. And as I go,
All right, I'm Paul, and then here I am, and I'm Paul. Do you want a drink or something? Because if you want a drink, then I got a drink for you. It's called
Let me
these.
get you that game juice.
And she's like, "What's these? These nuts." Got him.
That's so fucking stupid.
But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I like doing things with my voice. That's why I it's like it might be an autistic thing for all I know, but I like doing like impersonations and stuff and accents and all that stuff. Just because it's fun for me.
I mean, it is fun. I did the same thing back when I used to be stuck in traffic on a regular basis. That's where I would get my prime time voice impersonation time, just like practice, because like I'm sitting in traffic. I can't watch anything because sometimes I either have no connection or like it's not safe, Paul, you dummy. Don't look at your phone while you're driving. So I just like, all right.
Should you?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not.
oh boy.
It's just fun. Like
Mickey Mouse.
yeah, it's just fun for me to do. Like this is why like I can do like a good variety of accents. Like if I were to want to learn one, it would take me a little bit of time to practice it. Like for example, the Scottish accent I'm not good on, but I'm like getting it down. It's just fun for me, and then like it would be a lot more useful if I was like a comedian or something, which I'm not, obviously. Although you should check out my next late night stand up special on CBS. I'm just kidding, but you know it's like a nice party trick I can do too. Like I did it at work when we used to work together with some coworkers, and you know they found it funny for what it was. You know, it wasn't like drop dead funny, of course, because it's an accent. What else can you do? But it's like a party trick I can pull out too, which is neat.
Yeah, I used to do Russian, and now I think my better accent right now is just French. Just from the simple fact that the learning language and just like, if I want to have a good French accent, better imitate a French accent while in English. So that's definitely overtaken my Russian. But maybe I'll come back whenever I decide to learn Russian one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just when you practice the French accent, you might want to be conscious of how you sound as well, because all the like I find that when I speak in Vietnamese, I'm a lot like I speak more higher pitched. I guess it's the best way to describe it. Like
Oh yeah.
I sound more. Maybe it's just because just the way the language is, but I don't sound as like rough as when I'm speaking English. Like with Vietnamese, I'll just say an example. I'm gonna get a sentence real quick. With Vietnamese, it sound like mày làm gì vậy? Không biết làm điều. Like it's a lot more. I guess it's like more feminine. I guess so. I do sound different when I'm speaking Viet. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I've recorded myself speaking in French just so I could get that speaking practice in, and in that I would just I would like tell like a story for like 5 minutes, record myself just speaking only French, and then I would like watch it again and then try to like write down any words or phrases that I didn't know how to say in the moment, just so like all right, I just get that speaking practice out, and I can hear myself speaking French. There's definitely still a lot of my like regular. I don't even know if my accent is American or even like my normal voice, because again, whatever I'm trying to say, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Whatever I'm trying to say, like it still has like that bit of like my good old American voice in it, but it's still definitely leaning towards French, but it has that hint of American in it.
I can just picture you trying to record and you're trying to speak French. You're like, oui, oui, omelette du fromage.
No, no. Nah. That's like I'm ordering stuff, bro. No, it's more like
biblioteca. Sorry, that's a Spanish word.
Like un bibliothèque. I think that's also French too for library as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, un bibliothèque. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like they're both Latin based, so they're relatively similar in a lot of things. Like me learning French inadvertently also made it easier for me to learn or read stuff in Spanish. Funnily enough, whenever I see like signs in like Spanish, I'm like, I low key kind of understand what that says because I know French.
Yeah, I mean, languages, right?
Absolutely.
I think for me, when I was
so cool.
For me, I think I might have mentioned this before, but I took French my freshman year of high school, and I took Spanish my junior year of high school. The hardest part about doing Spanish was because I took French in freshman year, so whenever I would try to learn Spanish, the French kind of blocks against it. So my brain just like mixes the two together, and I'm trying to like decipher through that, like what the Spanish thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the hardest part for me when I was learning Spanish in high school, and then forgot after. But
Yeah, I reckon the same thing will happen to me too whenever I decide to learn Spanish, just because. Right now I'm like, oh, I can read as French. Haha, that's funny. But it's cool because I don't have to or it's all right because I'm not actively learning Spanish right now. But if I ever do that, and when I'm like, fuck, that was in French. Damn it, I'm trying to do Spanish, but things are coming out of French.
The two
French
are very
words.
similar. Like more
They're
than
very similar.
Because English is also like a derivative of the Latin language as well, but it's not. It's just similar enough to
it's both Spanish. It's both Latin and German, yeah.
Yeah.
More specifically French and German. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
think I hear German's like the least removed from the Latin language, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would argue like stuff like Korean or Japanese is the farthest removed from the Latin language.
You know what I mean within like the the area,
within the sphere of influence. Yeah. I got you. I don't know. You could be right. I don't know.
But what I do know is that damn French, which I'm part French myself, added some words in the Vietnamese language. So when some of the words that Vietnamese people speak, some of it's French because of, the whole like imperialism owning this.
Yeah, I learned that too. I learned about that too. And same with Cambodian to a degree.
It reminds me like of the time where I heard you and your mom talk, and you guys said some words that I understood. And that was Cambodian, but like it was like the same meaning in Vietnamese.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one. I had a couple of those moments when I see you guys talk to each other.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. Language is a very cool thing. That's why I enjoy learning it. Admittedly enough, the past couple weeks I've been like kind of slacking on learning French. I've just been maintaining it, just doing my usual flashcards every day. But
I'm slowly starting to get back into it, just because like, all right, I'm getting back into my groove a little bit. I just kind of lost motivation, got bored with it, just
Okay, I mean,
studying hard every day.
we all hit a wall, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I can't relate too much because I haven't tried learning a language too much myself, but I would imagine I would come across that as well. Like if I were to try to learn like Vietnamese, but better than I do because my Vietnamese isn't very good. By the way, if you guys don't know that,
I wouldn't
people
know.
Kenny thought I was fluent in it. And so I told him like, yeah, I actually cannot understand much of it. I can't read it. I can't write it. My mom tried to get me to learn how to read and write it. I just like refused because I was just like, I don't want to. This language sucks. And then
I thought the same thing for Cambodian too.
it didn't occur to me how bad. Like I thought I was like I could conversate okay with fluent people, but it didn't occur to me how bad I was until I worked at my first job, which was at a supermarket that was catered towards more Asian people and Hispanic people. So like half the place was like this is more of the Hispanic food, and the other half was like this is more of the Asian food. And then the Vietnamese customers would try to ask me where something was. I'm just like, I don't even know what you're talking about, woman. I don't understand. What is that? And I just like stare at them blankly, and then they try to they go to the cashier to get the answer because
they say like that man's a little slow.
yeah, like I realized I did not know the names of a lot of things in Vietnamese. So like if they asked me where the banana was, I could answer that. But like when it came to like where is the cantaloupe, I'll just be like, what?
What's that?
What is a cantaloupe? I've never heard of a cantaloupe in my life.
You're like, what the fuck? You don't know what a cantaloupe is? What's wrong
The
with
Vietnamese
you?
equivalent, obviously. Not the
I know
English
that, but
yeah.
at the same time, within the context of that too, it's just like you don't even know what a cantaloupe is. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like if they assume I'm fluent, they're just like, what the fuck? They're probably just like, what the fuck? Like, why do you have this job? Might as well just hire someone who speaks only Russian or some shit. He'd be as helpful as you are right now. But yeah, that's when I realized that my Vietnamese was dog shit, and I was just like, well, I mean, I'm not big on the language anyway. I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the way it sounds when I speak it, but yeah, it made me a little sad, and I'm like, damn, I don't even know the language of my own people.
Yeah,
But I got over it quick, and I'm like, okay, I just don't speak a lot of Vietnamese. It's okay.
it's okay. It's not for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Mine is just so like I can communicate with people, and I think if whenever I just
Take a shot or something. I say like, whenever I decide to learn this blank language, whenever I decide to learn Cambodian, it's probably just gonna be more like, definitely not gonna try to be like super fluent in it. Just more like so I can communicate with family and all that. Those who don't speak English.
Yep, that's the plan. I'll probably be content with that as long as I can do that. I'm happy.
Shit, I don't give a fuck if my family speaks Tagalog. I'll just answer in English.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, you speak it. I don't know for sure because you could just be like me, but you seem to speak okay whenever you talk to your mom. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you grew up in the Philippines for a number of years.
yeah. So I mean, it's better than like the equivalent of your Tagalog is better than my Vietnamese. I'm pretty sure. So.
Tagalog.
Although I'm surprisingly better than a lot of other Vietnamese people I know. Like Jeffrey, I think I speak better Vietnamese than him, and mine was not even that good. Yeah. I think he's told me like mine was better. And I was just like, huh, okay.
Didn't we send Jeffrey off to help that one lady when we were coming back from Japan who spoke Vietnamese at the airport?
Oh, I have a confession to make. I could have helped her. I didn't. I was just like, I don't know. I pretended not to be able to help her, and so Jeffrey helped her instead. All right. This is the first time you guys ever heard this, but I could have helped her. I understood everything she said. I could have helped her, and I didn't.
Wow, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, I was just like, nah, Jeffrey can handle this. He's volunteering after all, you know.
He is the MILF and the GILF hunter.
Yeah.
Or they're hunting him. Who knows?
It's the ghost that's hunting him.
Yeah. You know what?
Very weird.
Probably preferred anyways. It was Jeffrey.
Yeah.
The handsome, strapping young man.
Yeah.
She probably put in a good word with the lady in Japan too. Like after.
Probably. They probably
this is when we're coming back, weren't we?
What?
The Vietnamese lady. This is when we're
No,
coming
this is
back.
on the way there. On the way
On
there.
the way there? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was it not in? Weren't we not in Beijing when that happened?
That wasn't.
It's
We
Beijing.
were Beijing both ways, but like this is
Yeah.
on the way there. We were
Yeah, on the way.
we were there in the morning waiting for our like plane to come and like.
Oh,
what was
you're
it, 8
probably
hours?
right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah, I'm starting to remember it more now. We were there for a while,
Yeah.
long while.
Yeah. And then I think I remember because we were just waiting for a while after that, but it was definitely on the way there, and then that's when we ran into that lady, and then she put in a good word for the other lady in Japan so that she can hit on Jeffrey.
Yeah.
Just some
him.
random lady in Tokyo.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you're very handsome, young man.
So,
You're so helpful.
reminds
saying,
me
Dane?
of my late husband.
He was young and handsome, just like you.
Starts like stroking his leg.
Kenshiro, is that you? Kenshiro? Jeffrey's like, can I help you?
Oh, you can definitely help me. In more ways than one.
I don't understand what you mean sexually. And I don't.
Wow,
I
just
don't-
go out and say it. Just go.
I-
No subtlety at all. We're just going straight to the point.
you,
I want
you
you
know,
to, I want you to fuck me.
if she's like talking about hands when you are to your face, I'm pretty sure that she's already straight to the point enough. Okay,
Yeah.
like
Yeah, you're right.
have sexual relations with me, like high five. No, no, like okay, language bear. It grabs cock. And Jeffrey's like,
chin
oh.
chin.
Jeffrey's like, oh man, this is what they do in Japan. She just must be just trying to be polite, you know. I don't want to offend, so I'm just, like I'll just try to suggest that I'm not. This is not my culture. Like, just can't do it, you know. And then she's like, you were saying, and then he's like, oh, like shit. You might as well be polite. I gotta go home with her. It's probably part of their culture, you know. She's like, and then she bangs him in bed, and then Jeffrey's laying in bed, and he's like,
What could it mean?
This is just how the elderly introduce themselves to the young in Japan. It's just part of their culture. I can't offend her, so might as well just go along with it.
I'd be damned
can't
if
believe
Jeffrey
this.
comes back and like, hey dude, ask me like, hey dude, is it tradition for Japanese old ladies to grab you by the crotch? I'd be so
Just start-
confused.
Did they just start having sex with you as like a thank you? Is that what they do over here?
Is this the way of like passing on the knowledge from the elderly to the young? Is this like a ritual or something? Like,
Oh man, that'd be,
That'd be
something.
fucking hilarious. Kind of creepy, but it's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be really hilarious.
Yep. Oh, my face hurts.
all right. We're an hour and 2 in. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling amazing. Still sore, but I'm feeling amazing. Podcast wise, I don't know. Keep going. We could stop. I'm
Yeah.
fine with either.
I'm either way.
Indeed.
Okay.
Actually, I think I was planning to go to the gym after this.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
You want a sword? You're fucking wild, dog.
I know, right?
Are you just working a different body part? Or are you just gonna be like, fuck it, break my muscles?
I'll definitely be working out the non-sore body part. You
Okay.
know, even it out. You know,
What you do? Did you do like chest and shoulders or something yesterday? Or
it was chest and pull-ups yesterday. Yeah.
oh, okay.
I think the pull-ups would just be like something I do every day, just because I need to up those numbers. Get used to like doing pull-ups with my PT shoes on. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought about going. Like my mom asked me if I want to go back to the gym recently, because I think she's trying to get her own membership as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it because I was like, because mine expired, like, because I got my gym membership for like a 2-year membership starting in February of 2019, I think.
Yeah.
And COVID took all of that away from me because the gym was closed, and I was cautious and all that.
Yeah.
And
You're
now I'm just
socially
like-
responsible.
now I'm like, damn, do I spend money on a gym that I don't really want to go because I don't want to wear a mask while I work out in the gym and all that, and also have to like go there, and I'm just like, I'm like, nah, like if I'm gonna work out, like, because if I try to go back to the gym, there are days where I just don't want to go anyway, so I'm gonna work out. Might as well just work out at home.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend in the very least if you do go. You know how we normally start off like doing like a warm up run
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend doing that first while wearing a mask and then working out, because then your mask just gets all wet. And
Oh,
it's
I
like,
bet.
fuck. Yeah. That happened to me yesterday. I was like, oh,
I,
fuck.
my mask is a cloth one, so like
Oh,
it just gets janky too.
mine's
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I found your work mask in the back of my
It's
back seat,
okay.
Jim. Yeah.
I have. You can give it back to me, but I have many more. So I'm not sweating over it.
Yeah, I just like noticed it the other day. I was like, "What the fuck is that? Why is there a mask here? Like, who does this belong to?" Jim hasn't sat in the back in forever. And it was just like, "Oh, it definitely
Yeah,
is." I can
I
see
think
the
it fell off
logo.
my pocket. I think it fell off my pocket on the way out of the car or something.
Yeah, it was in the back seat. So I'm like, "Huh,
Yeah.
it's been here for months. I just never noticed."
I don't know. It could have been, but yeah, I have so many because I just take extras because I'm like, you know, there's no hard limit on this. No one's suggesting this, and I'll just take a
Yeah,
few. Yeah,
I mean, if you're cool with that, I can just toss it if you want.
up to you, man.
Alrighty, I'll just get rid of it then. It's probably dirty at this point anyway.
Yeah, probably filled with watermelon juice on the floor or something. I'm
probably.
just
I
kidding.
heard that.
I know you.
I heard,
I know you.
I heard that forever.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
anything, she's in the passenger seat. I'll have you know, not the back
I
seat.
mean, liquid flows. Okay, like I could go from
They
anywhere,
all
but no, no,
they
but
also precipitate. You ever took a science class, man?
I do like I know I'm not you, but I do appreciate that we've moved on from the watermelon jokes. Like I think it was like overdone for a while. So
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you.
I'm not even you. So like this it doesn't even hurt me as much if they were to be made still. Like
Yeah,
but
no, it wasn't just like that they were being made. It's just like the frequency. Like, this is old content. I want my new content.
yeah.
Yep.
You know what joke died really quick? The Calpager one. It just got overshadowed so quickly.
It did. I mean, there's like the other stuff like more substantial happened. That's why the
Yeah.
Cowbreaker thing. It wasn't even like an actual thing. It's just like a joke that kind of popped out of nowhere. That's why it didn't really stick. But the other stuff did happen, so that's gonna stick a lot harder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
2019 was that the year or is it 2018?
2018 was the year that kicked my ass in a bunch of ways.
Yeah, we got so many jokes from stuff that happened to you from that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. 2019. Or
You know,
2018, yeah.
I hope you learn your lesson though, okay? Like never swim with clothes on, like everything on, never pick up a stranger in the car. Um and that at least that type of stranger.
Yeah, definitely noted.
Yeah.
Definitely keep that in the back of my mind.
That's what we think. And then next year you make the same mistake. You're like, fuck, I don't want to be a bad person. Can I drive this person home?
You know what the shitty thing was? That wasn't even my first time I drove like a stranger. That was like the second time. The first time I did it was like someone when I was driving to work, and they came up to my car on the near the Target near my house, and they're like crying, and they're like, can I get a ride? I'm like I got into a car accident. I need to drive to work. I'm like, all right, hop in. And that one worked out fine. I was like, nothing bad happened. So the second time, it like popped up like my second opportunity to do a good deed for the day, and that bit me in the ass hard. So
Yeah, I've
it's,
grown.
it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, for someone that's like a socialist and wants to like see the good in people, like I am very skeptical of strangers that just walk up to me, because I've like it hasn't happened to me personally, but yeah, it happened to one of my friends where he was like, it was in high school where we were hanging out, just talking and stuff, and he was like, oh, I need to go back on campus because I left something there, and I'm gonna get picked up there anyway, and so he walked back, he was just chilling, waiting for his mom to pick him up, and then this guy walks up, and he was like, hey, do you mind if I borrow your phone real quick? My bike popped a tire, and I need to call to get a ride home." So my friend gave him the phone, and then and then the other guy pulled out a knife, and he was like, "All right, give me all your shit." And so he got mugged,
Damn.
and
Yeah.
this is on campus too, where and then our school isn't exactly like it's not like the most like prestige, like super secure school, but in our district, it was not known to be one of the more ghetto schools.
Yeah.
It was like relatively safe to other schools in our district, and it happened to him on campus. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like even someone like it's just stuck in my mind ever since. Like someone just comes up to you, asks for a favor, but then they just fucking pull out a knife on you. It's just like that can happen to anybody, and yeah, like like I'm glad it didn't happen to me, but that shit can traumatize people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and yeah, now I'm like skeptical of people just like fucking out of nowhere walking up to me asking me for something.
That does remind me of a time. I don't know if I ever told you guys this like a couple months ago, or it wasn't even like last year. I don't remember, but someone did walk up to me at like 1 a.m. when I was like, or when I was like filling up gas after I dropped you off at home, Jim, from work. Went to go fill up gas. Homeless guy walked up to me like, "Hey, can I have like some change?" I'm like, all right, sure. And they asked me like, I have this like really crinkled up 5. Can you like, do you have a 5 that you could trade with me? Because I can't really use this or anything. I'm like, all right, fine. Took his 5. He gave me his shitty 5. I'm like, fuck, this is so gross and dirty. All right, let me go to like the bank. Go to like an ATM to like switch this out. Went to the ATM. Got inside. The moment I got inside, I got to the ATM. I hear a knock behind me on the door, and then someone's like, I was like, all right, fine. Do you want to come in? And he was like, he asked me like, ¿tú hablas español? I'm like, no. And he was like, oh, can you help me? I'm like, fuck! I just want to trade out this 5. I'm like, all right, I'll help you. Just wait. And then try to go to the ATM. The fucking machine wouldn't even take it. So I was like, fuck. I had to like help this random dude, and I didn't get nothing from this. God damn it! I just wanted to go to bed. I'm so angry, or I was like upset. So the guy who needed help apparently is from Mexico. Didn't really speak English. He said apparently, and this is gonna make you bring up your friend Jim about the phone. I passed this guy my phone, just like, here's Google Translate. Type to me what you want or what you need, and so he like typed to me in Spanish and then said translate back in English like yeah, my friends kind of ditched me here. I need to get to like I forgot which town it was, like Sunnyvale or something. Can you like call me an Uber or something? And I kind of need like $20 for food. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna give you $20 for food because that's expensive, and because an Uber already is expensive. I'll call you up an Uber though, and that's what I did. And the Uber showed up, and I told the Uber like, "Yeah, this guy only speaks Spanish. He doesn't speak English." And then it's like the Uber like, "Sounds good. It's fine by me." And so Uber showed up. The guy got into the car. He thanked me in Spanish, and yeah, he went on his way. He was a cool guy. While we were waiting, we just had like a couple conversations with. Or whatever conversation, just like passing my phone back and forth and all that. It's like pretty wholesome. And then looked really grateful, and then he went off on his way. And then came home. I was like, I'm a little tired. I feel good. Did my good deed. Helped 2 people. I still need to get rid of this goddamn dirty S5, so I need to go trade it to a teller at some point. So I was still annoyed with that. But yeah. That's what your story reminded me of about the guy who like mugged your friend. Yep. The whole... I mean, I was definitely more cautious about that too. Like, I sat a little bit farther away from the guy. I'm like, I ain't going to get fucking burned again like last time with watermelon, but I very easily could have, looking back. But not. I'm glad I helped, even though I lost like. It was like I think the ride was like $40, so I lost another $40 just helping someone else. So I already lost the money that you paid me for that week. So yeah, but hey. I don't regret it. I'm glad I did it.
Would you have regretted it if he mugged you at the end?
I would definitely.
He mugged your shitty $5 bill.
I know. I would be like, what the fuck, bro? But hey, if he takes the shitty $5 off me, I'm like, all right, cool. At least I don't have to drive and like deal with like
passes like dirty ass $5 bill to like this poor teller who's like, eventually I did, and she looked so grossed out by it. I'm like, I understand. I'm sorry, but look, I can't use this either. I just need a trade of 5.
I'm sorry, I'm just picturing like you're talking to him through the phone, he pulls out a knife, and then he's just like typing on the phone and putting it back to you like, put your hands up. Dude, Google Translate. and then you're like, okay, you're typing like, okay, you know, what do you want? And then he gives back. So he's typing your wallet and your phone, please, and he gives it back to you.
I know,
like,
right?
And then you're like, you type back, I only have this 5, and he's like, okay, and then he's like,
I
type on the phone, let's negotiate.
He sees the 5 like, this is shitty. I don't want it.
yeah.
You know what's crazy? I still have the conversation on my phone on my Google Translate too. Yeah, and apparently they spell Uber with like a H, so it's Huber. That's how they spell Uber, which makes sense because like the H is silent. Yeah. Yeah, it says like right here in English, like, okay, my friends left me. You can help me with a Uber and $20 to eat. All right, so holy shit, I was actually correct on the $20. I thought it was like 30, but yeah, I didn't give him a 20 though. Just like, look, it's expensive. The ride's $40.
$40
I'm not for an Uber ride. Yeah, It wasn't Sunnyvale. It was definitely a different place, but it was definitely like a bit of a distance. But even I'm like, fuck, $40. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I'll give you the Uber ride. I'm not giving you 20. That's $60. That's far more charity I've ever given to any one person before. Yeah. So hopefully that guy's fine, and hopefully he's doing well, whatever he is at. He seemed like a really nice guy. He just down on his luck.
He's murdered his friend. That's where he was going.
Yeah. Apparently he didn't even have a phone either. That's why he needed my help. That's why he couldn't call an Uber on his own. Yep.
Yeah. Downtown. I've given money away to downtown, whereas like I used to take the bus home from my community college, and one of the stops was downtown in where we live, and this lady came up to me and she was like asking for some like few dollars, and I was like, okay, you know what? At least there are other people around. It's lit. Like I am. There's less. It's just a few bucks. I think all the conditions are a go, and then yeah. So I gave her a few dollars. It did feel pretty nice helping out because she needed money for a fare to get home, and I was in an area where if she tried to mug me, unless everyone else was in on it, then I would have been fine. But yeah, so that's happened to me like once, I think. This is before I dropped that class because that class was way too late in the day. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was one of those classes where you get out at 8 p.m. and it wasn't a big deal. It was at the downtown university, but because it was like in another city where
I see.
Yeah. So I was like, I eventually dropped that class, even though I was kind of interested in the class itself. I was just like, fuck it.
Yeah, evening classes are no fun.
Nah.
That's the last thing you want to do at the end of the day. It's just like, fuck, more classes.
I would not take a class for that semester and put it off for another semester if I found out the only options left were late night. But then sometimes you just don't get a choice where it's like, oh,
especially
I need this class.
Especially if it's a mandatory class.
Yeah, it was like a mandatory class. I'm like, fuck, I can't. Like the other slots are taken. I can't wait till next semester. I need to take this now. All right, I'll take the get out at 8 p.m. class. But they're never fun. Even if I like the class itself, like just going home late at that point just sucks.
That was my historiography class, the one I complained to you guys about. Yeah. That lasted forever.
That says evening classes suck. I hate that grad school classes are all in the evening. Oh fuck! I hope that's not the case for me because I dread evening classes.
Oof.
Like especially when it's like during like dinner time too, where like you want to eat but then you're in class. Like that shit sucks.
I think the logic or the assumption is that if you're doing masters or graduate,
You have like
Or
a job
grad
on the
school.
side.
You
Yeah.
already have a job on the side, so most people are just like working in the day and then go to like evening classes or in the evening. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Have you had an evening class, Dean? No, right?
No, been lucky.
So far. All right. I
Man.
think it might change once you go to upper division classes. That's
Yeah,
when your
yeah,
choices are
yeah,
far
yeah.
more limited.
Had one
Yep.
from like 5 to 7. That was something.
Was this online or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Online, it's not so bad. Like
Yeah, you're fine.
in person, oof, that shit sucks.
It's just nothing more depressing just looking out the window as it's completely dark outside. You're in class, like
Yeah,
fuck.
I had one from 6 to 8, and then before fall officially hit, where it's like it was still bright during the evening. Just like being in that class for 2 hours, watching it go from bright to like dark, just is saddening. And then once it was fall, it was dark all the time, regardless. Because here, when it gets dark at like 5:30.
That's when I quit
So
school, baby. No,
I
going
think
to evening classes.
I think mine was in the fall or like once it got near winter time when it got like kind of dark around like 6 o'clock. Then it's like you come in, it's dark. You leave, still dark, obviously, but it's like just come in, it's like there's no change. There's no change at all. It's just dark. I should be in
Yeah.
bed.
I find it really funny that Ron changed his major. I mean, for me, my logic is, if I am stuck with evening class, it is what it is. I have no choice, no matter. I have to suck it up. But I find it funny that he changed majors from something he wanted to do because he was just like, I don't want to go to evening classes, and so he just changed his major just solely off of that. I find that
That's
really,
his
really
logic?
funny. Yeah,
God damn.
kinesiology, I believe, like you need to take I think anatomy classes, which makes sense because kinesiology, muscles,
Yeah.
body, all that shit. And then like the only options he had were all like 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., whatever. And he saw that, he was like, "Oh, fuck that! I want to go home early." And so he changed majors to history.
I never knew that. I switched majors just because like I was like previously mechanical engineering. I found out I'm not cut out. I'm too dumb for this.
Yeah.
So I went to history instead.
Like, well, his objective is just to get a degree, but he preferred kinesiology over history, I'm pretty sure. But he made the change because he just didn't want to do evening classes. And I just thought that was really funny. Like I wouldn't do it because I don't agree with that reason, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I wouldn't do it for that either.
Yeah, just quit school.
But yeah,
Alright, boys.
I really can't take the evening class. I think he's quitting school.
I mean, well,
Yourself.
as we eventually grow older, like some with the younger generation, we start to realize, especially student debt, like man, college degrees are kind of bullshit. So
I mean, there are bullshit because I learned way more. I'm gonna bring up the P word, but I learned way more politics through like
Porn.
through online
I dare you.
through online stuff rather than like being in my in any government classes I took in high school or college. I learned way more about policy and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Yeah.
But and it does speak like if you really just wanted something, you don't really need a college degree to learn something. But
Yeah.
unfortunately,
It's not the way this world works.
it's just not the way it works. So
But
yeah,
at the same time, like even if you do have a degree, and even if it's like a relevant field, that sometimes it just don't work out, and you just end up working like
yeah.
a job that don't
People-
require a college degree, anyways.
People really I hear this from like there's two angles to this, the two opposite angles on this, and neither are true. Like one is like a college degree, I mean, just by having one will make you succeed because they lets you form connections and you meet the right people and you have a much higher chance of succeeding, which like that latter part is true. But like going to college doesn't guarantee success, like you need to have a lot of other skills and connections, a lot of bullshit to go with it. And the other aspects, like college degrees, are useless. They're just a piece of paper that don't do anything, which is also really fucking stupid and really wrong. Because, like, the point of getting a college degree is it's not based off knowledge. Because if it's based off knowledge, most people would not have college degrees. Like, period. Because most people just cram study and then just forget that shit. Like a day later,
Yep.
The point of a college degree is one, the most immediate one is to form connections with professors, classmates, and people that you see often, so that later you can use them for recommendations to go to graduate school, get a job, or whatever it is. So it's like really good to be friendly with your professors for that reason, versus like being the kid who just went to class and just got home like me. Like I was that kid, so I didn't form very meaningful connections with professors and all that shit. The other reason is just the credentials. Like it is a piece of paper, but comes with it is like, hey, like this is a certification that you have like these skills that you're supposed to have in preparation over what it is you can do in the future. Like if you have a bachelor's in history, you at least have some skills that you picked up through your history classes, whether it may be reading like reports, or like reading, or like knowing how to organize historical text, or wherever the fuck it is. Like I'm not a history major, I don't know what all the skills that come with it. But I actually use my own major. What the fuck? With psychology, With psychology, they don't like, the point of the psychology degree is not to be like, I know a lot of stuff about how the brain works. It's more like I know how to read psychological papers, so I can understand what the paper is trying to tell me. I know how to read statistics. This is why I'm much more fluent with how stats work versus other people. Like and how like studies are done. It's because psychology drills that into you. So even though I forgot a lot about stuff, a lot of like definitions and terms, all that stuff throughout my 4 years of doing the degree, I still have like those skills that I can use and apply to stuff I see that pops up all the time in psychology or politics or whatever it is. I'm more able to read that stuff, and that certification from my degrees says that I can do that stuff, versus someone who took psychology in high school, but not necessarily was taught those things in high school, so they don't have the certification of being able to do same things that I'm doing. And a master's person with a master's in psychology has a certification of the stuff that they picked up throughout their time in graduate school that I don't have right now as someone who hasn't started graduate school yet. So that's the point of having a degree. It's just connections and just a certification that says that you know something or you know how to do something. That's the point of it. And saying it's useless is really dumb, because like it's only useless if you like literally graduate and don't do anything with it with your degree. Like, and that's just how it is. Yeah.
All right. Now we've gone on for like an extra 30 minutes. I say that's like quite a milestone. How are you guys feeling? Good time to end it?
Yeah, it's a good time to end it.
Alrighty. Jim, I'll leave it to you.
Alright. If you guys enjoyed our 50th episode, the usual and outro saying like, hey, you like our stuff? Subscribe if you haven't on YouTube, or follow us if you haven't on Twitch, because we go live every Wednesday around the same time, 6:30 PDT, sometimes a little later because sometimes we're late. But for the most part, we try to stick around this time, so, tune in for that. You can get a notification every time we go live on Twitch. And on YouTube, we upload our VOD immediately after we go off air. So, as soon as it's done, I'm going to start the process to upload on YouTube through Twitch. So that'll be up there as well. And also, you can check out our other episodes 1 through 49, with a variety of quality. It gets better over time, I promise. On YouTube as well, 1 through 49. We have a couple. We talk about a whole bunch of shit, But if you're here in episode 50, you probably already know that. And yeah, always leave a comment. Comments are always nice, whether you're commenting live on Twitch in our Twitch chat, or you're commenting on our videos. That's always fun. We like reading your comments. And we might not hit 50 more episodes after this because Paul's leaving in 4 months, but we will be going for quite a little while longer, and in the future we'll maybe throw one in every now and then, and that'll be cool. And hope you guys see you next time. If you guys have a wonderful day. All right.
Indeed. Peace. Later.
Bye.